Welcome back, everyone, to session 67 of The Sound of Static, starting us off with a mission log from Mercy.
Mission log number 2 billion. I would like to begin this log by stating that I am hurt. I just got out of a damn ship crash thinking everything was over. Everything is done. Yay! I saved the universe that I'm gonna rule over someday. Yay! No! Instead I find out that Jade or Smiley Man, whoever the heck it is, still isn't done with us. So me and Cabo had to burst the log to save 2 of our crewmates from being kidnapped. Just 2. And I made that choice. The Smiley Man forced me to make that choice. Now I have no idea where Marina and Kasak are, and I have to live with that. And the Smiley Face Man could end up undoing all of our work, and I am this close to beating up this stupid nurse taking my blood pressure. And log.
The nurse taking your blood pressure takes a couple of steps back. But here you guys are, indeed, thinking that perhaps the worst had been over, and yet you are, after a quick stint to kind of the hospital, mayhaps not a nurse, because you guys are in the block housing B of Absalom Station. You have been here after following this trail, having discovered that Jackson Huxley, radio personality extraordinaire, has in fact been dead for several months, perhaps since the start of your journey. And following the clues of this call from Ray, the voice actor, impersonator, perhaps shady personality from Block Housing B that had been mayhaps lending her strength to impersonating Jackson for this long. But here you guys are, following up on the clues. The only things you have to go on so far is an interesting voicemail of note left from Ray. That being that she had correspondences with none other than Everly Elms, the ex-forum member, given his passing. You guys stand in front, or stand inside of her studio, if it could be called that, a mess of kind of technology and different recording equipment strewed about, but you have finally unlocked the key to this secret entrance, you might say. Something that perhaps you weren't looking too closely for last time you were here. There were a lot of things going on back then, but now that the room has kind of been cleared after her death, you find a small kind of hatch in the floor that slides open after repeating this very long and arduous passcode phrase based on a poem. And down, as you look into what seems to be kind of like maybe the lower floor in this apartment complex, all you see is darkness below.
Yeah, that was a much better recap. I totally forgot that crucial part. I'm running down.
Mercy, without any hesitation, you jump. There's a thud as you hit the ground. You are in some kind of small room. The ceiling is kind of much lower than usual. Being a halfling as you are, you fit perfectly fine. But the lights begin to flicker on in these fluorescents. Very obviously, this place isn't meant to be, it's not a forefront of any sort of room. It's almost like a storage space, if anything, that has been kind of repurposed. You see, like a rug has been placed in here, maybe a singular folding chair or two.
Oh, guys, come down here. I think I grew bigger, like Alice in Wonderland.
Mercy. We'll come right up. And Gum will also make the jump.
Kamu, you jump down and still kind of standing, your antlers do kind of still reach out of the floor. This space is not meant for tall folks such as you, but kind of crouching down, you kind of get a scan of the area. There are like a couple of chairs here, not a lot going on. It's very kind of dust scatters the second you hit the ground. Can I get a perception check from both of you?
Perceive our crewmates tied in the corner, and then we untie them, and it's all done. We did it.
32 for perception.
32?
29.
29. I'd say you guys easily spot everything in this room, which is not much. There are like two kind of chairs set up in the corner, perhaps for maybe the more seedy dealings that Ray had going on that couldn't be set to be heard. You see there's kind of foil on the walls, this kind of like a makeshift Faraday cage, if you will, that is meant to keep all conversations within this room private. In the corner, there's kind of like a, next to the chairs, there's a kind of cardboard box that's more like a makeshift table, but that is kind of the only thing you see something. As Kami, you kind of shift over the cardboard box, there are really only two things of note in this room. One appears to be some sort of external hard drive that is collecting dust. And the other, to your surprise, is a book, actually. You pick it up because, Kamu, this book is familiar to you. You actually have a copy as you turn over and you see Filibuster Scuggs' memoir of the time that he spent 300 years in a time loop.
Well, this just gets more interesting. Is this one, is this book, flipping through the book, is this book different in any way?
As you flip through it, I would say you very obviously can tell this book is different because this thing is annotated all to hell, Kamu. Red ink is kind of written in the margins all along different stages of paper. There is heavy annotations written all across this book.
What type of annotation?
It is difficult to say. Actually, you know what? Give me a check on this. Let's see. We'll call it...
Please tell me this is not a puzzle.
You know, give me good old-fashioned intelligence, actually.
Alright, God.
You're just a fan of Scuggs.
That's an hour.
Kamu, you look through this book, and it is incomprehensible. Like, these notes don't mean anything. You think this is like some sort of... You think it is weird that anyone would be a fan of Scuggs to annotate his book this much, but that he must have a fan somewhere, because you don't think anyone actually read this thing, but this person sure as hell read it, and they had lots of things to say about it. And you think it's kind of fitting, because the notes within the margin are the same amount of, like, nonsense that Scuggs often speaks of, you know, in his daily life. Like, just, like, snippets of kind of words and phrases, like comments in circles around a bunch of things. It is the workings of a madman.
Kamu closes the book, and sort of hands it over to Vernon.
Vernon and Hawk, who have hopped down, Vernon also kind of keeling over, though not as much as you have to, Kamu. And the hell did you find?
It appears that someone is a fan of Filibuster Scuggs.
Who?
Don't think we'll get much of this book, though. The scribbles. Those are ring a bell.
He takes the book, and he looks at it. Is this that fucking memoir or whatever that crazy-ass Skittermander on the Waydand's Blessing keeps trying to push?
Yes.
What the fuck is it doing down here?
At some point, they must have handed a copy to Elms. If this is a copy.
Oh yeah.
Or
Elms
else...
interrogated him.
You
weren't
think
they?
Ray handed a copy to Elms?
They were talking with Validity and stuff, right? That could have been when.
Filibuster at some point spoke with Elms before Elms was killed.
Shit, you're right. That's why we went to go talk to the guy after his death, and we didn't learn anything because the guy's a nut job.
Yes. Anyways, why don't you take another look on this book?
Look, I can't really make
Well,
hide nor hair of this. I mean, I don't know if he was his editor or something, but it's just a bunch of nonsense scribbles.
Oh, it's fall via code. It's Elms we're talking about.
Find
you're
anything
smart.
else?
Go look at this.
Well, I don't really have much reading material right now, but I didn't really put Scuggs' book high on my list. There's kind of a couple of other things. He takes the book and like opens it, and like pages kind of fall out, just smeared in kind of ink. Oh, okay, I guess I'll take a look. He goes and sits in the chair in the corner and just starts poring over this book. You see him grimacing the entire time.
Boy.
Well, left this with this. Gum takes out the hard drive.
You pull out this hard drive. It seems pretty standard, run-of-the-mill, like something you could buy easily on Absalom Station.
You have a slot for that, Cub?
Is there a console in this room? There's only a desk.
Not in the kind of this basement area. You think you could probably fit it to your terminal. You know, as they always say, best safety etiquette is to shove random drives that you find on the ground into your comms terminal. No safety, violation doing that. By the way, didn't you say literally the last place you came from in Jackson's office was where you found a inundated, virus-full, stupid hard drive that almost could have killed you?
No, they were an intelligent, if not sentient, system. Like Pandora and home.
You're right. Now, Pandora could never be, transmitted through any sort of external hard drive device. I'm just speaking crazy talk. Go ahead, plug it into your system.
Thank you for volunteering your terminal, Vernon.
I am not volunteering my terminal.
Can you check to steal it?
You know what? Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
You're doing this at a debuff.
No. That means I gotta roll twice, right? And I take the lower.
No,
number?
I am giving. I have a minus score that I'm going to attribute to yours.
It's okay. Plus, why do I have such high? I never steal stuff. 23.
As you kind of like creep over, Vernon is like locking eyes with you.
Grandpa, like, can I get a hug? A hug where I would never do anything.
You stay 6 feet away from me at all times.
No.
Seeing this happen, Com's going to plug in the hard drive.
Okay. Kamu, you spool out some cable from your system, kind of a little more old-fashioned than you're used to, but you get to boot up what is on this drive. As you kind of boot it up, it is a mess in here, but you kind of wait around for a minute, and your terminal doesn't seem to be compromised and doesn't seem to explode, so you think that maybe that's a good sign in the beginning. it is filled with essentially just a bunch of MP3s and MP4s, this entire thing. There's no other, like, file type in it. No executables or anything that, a virus would have hosted. It appears to be just like a kind of large data cache. Nothing is organized, and all of these files are kind of mislabeled and just kind of like large strings of IP numbers for these kind of different files. So it's very difficult to kind of, like, you just open up a random one and you just hear a voice. And the voice sounds, I would say, like Gorthram, but just kind of like speaking, about like the weather or something. You open up another one and you get like a snippet of like some sort of forum member hearing, or like some address that the Starfinders were giving, and there's just a snippet of like Gorthram's voice, and like that's it. Not really talking about anything in particular.
It appears that this is Ray's sound samples, well, to impersonate Gorthram.
That would make sense. That's what Ray was trying to push, wasn't it?
I don't understand where Elms comes in, though. Like, is this a fake Elms? Is this the real Elms? He's like playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, whatever the hell Elms was doing, trying to... We know that Gorthram was being impersonated, and maybe, well, Ray had a hand in that with the voice and all, but was Elms in and on it too? And if so, why did he need to ask Ray about the files?
Yes. And if Elms is in on this whole thing, what exactly was he trying to achieve? Going at it alone?
Well, he didn't get very far, did he?
No, I don't think he was in on it. I think he was trying to investigate Ray because he knew that whoever wanted those files went through Ray. So he was trying to see what Ray got for recordings.
Look, if Elms was ahead of us all on this, whatever swarm, whatever business going on, didn't really do them much, huh? There was no clues or anything to Nerium or something, and if they figured it out by then, you would have think they would have said something.
That's true.
Kamu, can I get a computers check from you?
Yeah. Not bad. That's a 25 for computers.
A 25 for computers. You think that there's that there could be good data on this hard drive, but it is something that it's going to take a bit to sift through. You kind of think that most of this is kind of nothing, but you kind of like think about a couple of codes that you can run to process in the background this kind of hard drive, and if anything of interest shows up, that you might be able to detect. Essentially, you think there's some good information on here, but you're gonna have to run some sort of subroutine in the background to kind of fish it out.
Speech to text? Okay. We need a minute to... Well, perhaps more than a minute, but... There might be something useful. Information that we don't yet have. In this file. In those files. But it'll take a while to process.
Okay, so next to Hawk, you have your little study buddy group over there.
Yes, by the way, you turn over to Hawk, he has a pair of reading glasses, that he's holding up to his eyes as he's, looking through this page. So, there's a lot of notes that Elms wrote here in this book. He had a lot of things to say. Has anyone actually read this before?
No, I thought it would be too, like, sad and stuff, because it's about him being trapped, right?
Well, sad is one way to put it, I guess. He kind of like folds the book. It's quite a read, certainly. I'm not sure is the expression I would use. I feel a little sad for me having to read it, and I think Elms felt similarly. But there's a lot of writing in this book about, I think Elms was trying to figure out what exactly happened to Skuggs, which, you'd think in a book written about being trapped in a time loop would be pretty obvious. It is not. The best I can see is that chapter 3 seems to be, well, there's a bunch of extra notes written here. Something about, mentioned Drift Base and Callow Station.
Why would he care though? Because like, are we trapped in a time loop, Hawk? Is that what you're telling me?
Or drift space, as in Skuggs was using drift beacons power to time travel.
I think Elms seem to think so. It's difficult to tell. Drift drive, as we all know and are all familiar with, is the main method of faster-than-light travel in the Pact Worlds, but, I mean, it's very highly regulated. You go to drift beacons, there is traffic control and communications towers, they authorize who goes through, everything's kind of documented. But if you mess up the process, well, it's not really explained, because a lot of people who do so go missing, or they're found, and horribly, horribly dead.
Ooh.
Skuggs didn't die,
Oh.
he's a survivor.
How far back can Skuggs go? Did Skuggs mention he could go?
Again, it's not an easy read. The best I can tell is that Elms has dissected this entire chapter, but their writings themselves aren't easy to sift through. You remember the notes we found in their office. It's all kind of jumbled little snippets of things, but I think they were trying to figure out how Skuggs did it.
Then we could do that and go back before any of this happened and kill the mastermind.
Well, if that's what's... Obviously, Elms didn't get very far.
We can make everybody who died back alive. We'll get farther than him. We'll get farther.
Well, I mean, if you want to take a look.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I regret this. Hawk.
Look, you told me to read through this. So you guys have your copy of the annotated version of Chapter 3 of Filibuster Skuggs' novel that none of you have taken the time to read beforehand.
Oh my gosh, he's the Force! Where's the note for that? Skuggs is the Force? The drama! Junior Scout camping supplies. How young was he? Wait, no, he's married, but... What? I guess you're never too old to be a scout. He's got a sports model, so he's like, is he middle class or what? Like lower upper class?
I never really got the read on Skuggs that well because of, everything else going on with him, but I certainly didn't think him, to be someone living in the excess of wealth. He does dress kind of nicely, though, when you think about it. I mean, like, his cape is embroidered. And I think it's Prada.
Oh, but I don't want to marry a crazy person.
Do not marry Skunks, for the love of God.
First, for the love of Hylax or whatever.
You think in the divorce, the other person got money? I could just divorce him.
He mentioned he hasn't signed it off. So, perhaps that money was something else.
I'm sorry, say that again?
He mentioned he didn't sign off the divorce papers, yes? The money could be from someone else.
Yeah. Okay, so he's used to going to back alley people to get his ship refitted. He upgraded a cylinder recently. That cylinder is probably defective, maybe? And he has luxury vehicles. Why haven't I been talking to this man?
Because he's a nut job.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that we only need to pay attention to the red notes. What was he writing in crayon? No atmosphere space. What?
And 3 cans of wham energy. To be called a madman by none other than 4-member Elms is quite an achievement.
That's what I said. I mean, really, the crazy calling each other crazy, but I think if I had to rank them, I'd take my day with Elms over Skugs.
No, Elms is scary. Okay, so he was going fast, really fast. That back alley guy was shady. He's going through a kaleidoscope, maybe like a wormhole or something?
No,
Is that,
it was Mercy or something. He went through an unmanned drift beacon. That was...
Is that... Like, the note says not space travel. Like, is Drift Drive supposed to be looking like a kaleidoscope?
You're not really in the drift for long enough to tell. It's kind of like using it as a gateway between spaces in our plane. You don't really spend time in the drift when you use Drift Drive.
He was in an extra space, though.
That's a nice detail. He did not capitalize that one.
No times for stops. He was freaking driving with his eyes closed. Wait, no, he wasn't. Oh, no, okay, so he was doing it. It was just one that was lying in the dead of space. So it wasn't an official one.
I mean, drift beacons are usually very highly regulated because of, all the things that could go wrong. Usually your drift technicians, when you go through Drift Drive, handle all, the logistics of making sure you don't die or get exsanguinated or have half of your molecules somewhere else outside of your body.
Oh my gosh. He didn't even sleep and out. Is Ram Energy the stuff that like Ray died on? I know that was because of poison, but is that in itself? No, that was like hard water.
Look, I wouldn't consider anyone who drinks Wham Energy on the regular to be of any sane mind or to expect to have a long life expectancy.
So he landed on an actual planet after drift drive. Wait, what? He probably just like forgetting his memories because he's saying that his food was half open when he.
You know, after
What
3
do we
cans
do?
of Wham Energy, I don't exactly trust his memory. I'm with you on that.
We'd agree.
What is he? What? He said, what does it say? Didn't capitalize this time?
You read a little slow, Mercy. But did you realize that?
Yeah. What, did you see something better down below?
Oh, well, I did let Mercy borrow my highlighter. Oh, Kamu, do you want one too? I have a couple of different flavors. They're scented.
We've read through all of it, so we'll pass on this. But thank you, Mark.
No problem. I also have lots of pens. I have a couple glitter ones, if you are interested in that. Couple of different highlighters.
This note at the end, Vernon, Mark. This unmanned beacon station.
Yeah, he mentions, Elms seems to mention some sort of station, Callow. I think I might have heard of it once or twice. I mean, look, there's a good amount of unmanned beacons out in the Pact Worlds. Not ones that people go to, obviously, because, well, it's a death wish.
I'm just confused, like, what he's talking about before. So before he didn't do the drift drive, right? And then he finds the drift drive.
I told you it's a difficult read. Skuggs just jumps between places in time, like every time that he's writing. He doesn't move linearly of what happened, and he goes on tangents, and he keeps talking about his ex-wife, which I'm really tired of reading about.
Sorry, Hawk. Hold on. This Callow station, what do we know about it?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really ring a bell. Like Vernon said, there's lots of unmanned beacons out in the Pact Worlds. I can do some research on it if you guys are keeping reading.
Yes.
I'll see
And
what I
then
can
did you
find.
also-
I kind of have to leave the Faraday cage, though. I'll be right back. Hawk kind of jumps
What?
off. He sets down his binder full of glitter pencils. Mercy, do put back the highlighter once you're done. They go in color-coded order. And he heads out.
What if you die out there? I
I'm-
can't see you.
I'm just gonna be upstairs, literally like above you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, if something happens, I will stamp out shave and a haircut on the floor.
We'll come out with you, Hawk. That's not exactly a comfortable position for us, anyways. Kind of bumps that.
Come, you
Stand
bump
up
into
to
like
straight
several,
back.
yeah, several parts of the ceiling as you step out. In that case, Kamu, can I get a culture check from you?
Yeah. Why, of course. My sound of static dice is very interesting, I think. That's why I love using it. Culture, that is a 26 for culture.
26 first culture. You do some research on Callow Station, and you indeed find it much akin to when you're in like a podunk little town and you do a research for like gas station and you get this review on Google and you get like this location on Google that has 0 reviews and like 3 stars. That is Callow Station. It is this nowhere kind of little drift beacon that is the only thing like mentionable on the internet is that it exists and it's here. Has a 1-star review by like 1 person that says no bathrooms.
And where is its location in proximity to where we are?
In proximity to where you guys are, looking at its current trajectory, it's pretty close. It's like on the ring of orbit that Absalom Station is. Sorry, I had to reconfigure some OBS. But yeah, you have found Callow Station. Even if we go there, though, we don't... What exactly do we do?
We spill the wham energy.
No.
Close our eyes.
You're right. We need a bit more information before we decide on what to do with this broken, unmanned Driftin. Checking our terminal, is there anything interesting that comes up from the speech to text?
Coming up through your terminal, I would say you don't think nothing's really come up through your speech to text yet. Just a lot of Gorthram kind of speaking, you know, again, ranger kind of stuff is official transcripts.
Not quite. We need to keep parsing. Our instinct tells us that there must be something.
I say we just go to the station, man. We don't need a plan.
Once again, would like to point out the dangers of doing random things in Drift Drive.
I mean, Skunks did it, and he only like was stuck there for like 300 years. It's fine.
The Hog and Vernon and comes stands in the room in silence.
Look, I've just heard horror stories about people who've gone through even manned beacons before, where a technician perhaps wasn't paying too keen attention, and half the ship ends up halfway across the galaxy, and the other half is stuck at the drift beacon.
And then we can use that opportunity to make a new ship. Like, Hawk will use his building skills, seal up the hole, and we'll start a new civilization wherever we end up.
Oh, I see. You didn't hear about, in that news story that the medical wing was exactly halfway in between the sheep.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd say a good amount of, separated torsos from, you know, the upper half of people's bodies. That was a lawsuit.
Maybe we not do that. What if we track down the back alley Timothy?
Elms wrote all of this stuff about, you know, the drive and everything. Do you think he actually did it? I don't know. Well, he seemed to have a lot of plans and everything.
Yes, and he also has time to travel.
He wouldn't do something so crazy, right? And he's dead.
Well, he obviously isn't doing anything now. But the question, I guess, is whether he managed to do it before he got killed.
What?
there isn't exactly a big note on this corkboard that says, I made it through the broken drift beacon that Skux left. Or, that Skux discovered.
Damn good point.
Where?
Either we count on finding something once we get there, or a log if you have a faster way to process through these audio data. Would be done.
I think you just kind of have to brute force it. I mean, Home has a lot of kind of processing power. She might be able to look through it faster, but I'm not sure. Maybe there is some sort of note. If Elms didn't go through the portal, they were researching it surely, and they were researching this Gorthram stuff, so maybe someone did.
An interesting point. Either way, we're less likely to find more useful data here.
You're right. I can go and set a course to wherever this Callow station is. We don't really have much else to go on.
Yes. Meanwhile, we'll collaborate with Home to see what we can get out of this.
Okay, sounds like a plan. We meet back at the ship then?
Yes.
With kind of a nod, you all take one last look at the this kind of underground studio that Ray had hidden away, and you turn the lights off and you head out for the second time, leaving it empty. On the way back, Kamo, you get a ping on this little sub-program that you had running in the background. There is an interesting video that has caught your eye. You kind of look through the description, and you kind of have this program running that senses similarity of things, and it's kind of grouped all of the other forum member stuff together. But this appears to be something out of the loop. You get a personal log that appears to be from Gorthram's terminal from years back, maybe like 10 or so. As you get this this video that pops up.
Now, how does this thing... Ah, there! Ha ha! Now, here we have quite a rare beauty in the world of botany, the lumacanth. These things can grow up to 10 or even 20 feet high. Now, the central stamen is composed of highly volatile electric photonic capsules that act as a natural lasing medium. Can you imagine that sprout? Don't give me that look. Don't worry, this one is just a sapling, and the modern domesticated ones emit nothing but harmless light. I think your mother will be most pleased with our work, eh, Sprout? A little camera shy, are you? Well, I'm sure that once...
I'm gonna go to Hawk. Hawk, you're smart. What is electron photonic capsules and lasing material?
Well, I mean, lasing is, in terms of like laser firing, that's the act of firing a laser.
Oh.
I don't know what he's talking about though, because this is a flower and not, like a laser.
Cans or something? Lubricants?
So, if they condense this flower, then can you reasonably deduce this flower might be how a star blazer was constructed?
I'd say give me a why don't give me a life science check from everyone.
I don't have good life science. Where is Gorthram?
25 for life science.
25 for life
15.
science. 15. I would say, Mercy, you have not heard of this plant, but Kamu, in your kind of Wikipedia, Creaturepedia research, may have heard of it. It's a there's lots of different alien types of fauna within the Pact worlds, and this is one of them. Essentially, a flower that has laser properties. You think even if you grew an entire field of these things, though, that you would have to amass. It's essentially not an efficient way to make a laser. You can make much more powerful lasers with, construction and different sort of things. You think that simply Gorthram being a xenobiologist, as is his kind of title in the forum, he probably would be very well in depth known about. This is kind of him geeking out over, a plant that he's excited about and to teach other people about.
Yes. And where is this plant? Its wild variation, at least, commonly grew? Or is the geolocation of this plant?
I would say you don't know for sure. You would probably assume this is, where a lot of megafauna, that this might be an old Galarian plant. You haven't really heard about it. Maybe Castrovel and Vershis, they have a large kind of jungle inhabitants, but you're not 100% sure.
What do the letters mean at the camera recording? Middlewind? There's no... Just tell me the answer. What is this date like? How is this date in relation to us?
I would say this date is about 10 years back.
Years ago. So child has grown up and probably wants, I don't know, world destruction or something. Did you see her freaking eyes? Those are the eyes of a child who wants to kill.
I thought she was kind of cute.
Look at her, Hawk.
I mean, she looks like, a kid.
She looks like a kid. I'd agree.
She kind of looks like you, Mercy, I feel like.
What? I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Don't insult me again, Hawk.
Well, you have kind of like the same features.
What? Do I have a long lost sister? Is that what you're telling me right now, Hawk?
That is not at all what I was jumping to.
Are you saying that she's a halfling?
I guess I'm not the authority to answer, but I had assumed that, she was.
Okay. We have something. They're originally a halfling. That doesn't really tell me. Because they can shapeshift. If the mastermind is child and they're shapeshifting, I'm surprised that they would need Gortham's voice, though, to copy him if they grew up with him. So I'm thinking maybe it's not child.
Did we ever get a... out of character, did we ever get a date for when Gorthram is first impersonated?
I would say that you have no idea. You believe that he was impersonated before, you think that you have never met the real Gorthram, but how long before then, you wouldn't have any idea.
It was 10 years ago. I'm thinking about the graves we found at home. Did that other grave look like it was 10 years old or older than that?
I would say
The one that's burned.
both of the graves, there was a older and a newer one. I would say both of them look more recent. You wouldn't think they are older than 10 years.
Oh. Okay. So, home needs to tell me the answers.
I would say you guys make your way back to the ship in this time. And just as you were saying that home should tell you the answers, griping to yourself, as you step through the door, there is the familiar chime of the ship as you hear home speak. You are speaking to the answers of the poem that Evariel had just sent recently, correct?
What?
A very
No?
what?
Welcome back, Silent Stars crew. It is nice
Yes, hello.
to see
Give us
you
the poem.
again. You have been gone for quite some time, and I had begun to worry.
Yes, yeah, we're fine. I need the poem.
Oh, that brings me to my next piece of news. Avariel Maelstrom had gone back to you about her direct phrasing was a piece of linguistic knowledge that you had left with her some time ago.
She decoded it?
No.
Oh.
However, she has provided what she calls a first singular draft. She is currently running it through several different programs to get a closer match and has actually collaborated with me, home, on it.
Good job. You have a job now. Make sure you get paid.
I did not discuss a salary with Miss Maelstrom. Do you think this was intentional? A way to exploit my labor?
No. What? Look, the poem would be helpful to us. Immaculately.
She had attached it with the original language used in the... She claims that it was from some sort of love poem that was written upon the walls in Eox. Is this correct?
We have no idea.
Love poem. That's interesting.
I like romance.
She claims that she cannot specifically decipher what it is about, and that the ending is unclear whether it ends happily or in tragedy. This is the first draft.
I don't think she translated the word love properly.
Yes, we do agree. There are some linguistic paradoxes.
The task of deciphering a language, especially one so under-explained and ones that we know very little about, such as Ancient Sun Disciple, are very difficult to translate directly, following very different grammar and syntax. I am currently committing 30% of my processing power in the background to try and refine this language.
I think this is about mother and child. So mother left. She was the sun, and the moon is child. She got sad when she left, so she tried to call her back.
A most interesting theory. You believe that a poem written about mother and child was inscribed in the Sun Disciple chain in the Sun Disciple cave hidden in Eox?
Yeah. That doesn't really make sense, but Icarus is all about sun stuff, so maybe.
That cave
Maybe they were
probably had inscriptions hundreds of years old. I mean, assuming mother and child aren't eternally living demigods that, been here for hundreds upon hundreds of years.
Well, we just learned about drift drive. Maybe some time shenanigans happen. But Skunks isn't actually 300s. I think he just saw time weird. I don't.
In none of the Icarus related text we've read, were there ever a mention of the moon? If anything, the Sun Disciples was the first time we came across the paradox of the sun and the moon.
Which is funny because Graviton isn't really sun related.
I'd agree that the Sun Disciples, if anything, are people who are interested in the moon. I mean, Icarus is, I guess they have some sun symbolism and everything, but it's, I don't know, this reads kind of more religious. And the sun in Icarus isn't exactly, you know, the calming or, you know, protagonistal force. Literally kills the guy, I think.
Push the cage and announce its prison?
But we agree. You made a point earlier about love being mistranslated.
Yeah, because what the heck is love soup, love ice? There was two... What would it be? Two what? Two... people, Galarians, halflings.
I have now sentenced you the task that Averial had given to me. I will continue to work in the background. I am moving on to my secondary task administered by Mr. Springwell.
What task is that?
I have plotted a course to Callow Station.
Oh.
Yes. That is our next destination, but before this, does this ring a bell? Ko is going to send the video of Gorthram's personal video data to home.
Freak out home.
There is a kind of quiet processing in the background as Home begins to parse through this. She goes very, very quiet.
Home?
The metadata on this log mentions it is from one Gorthram Metalwind's personal logs. Is that correct?
Yes.
I recognize this place.
What do you recognize about it?
This is home.
Where is home? We have to know it. We have to know it to find it.
You already know it. Course has been plotted to Callow Station. Shall we head off immediately?
What? I don't know. What do we know? Wait, what? Oh, go back.
I apologize. I am not sure if I can tell you what you already know. To what are you referring?
You just said.
If you are referring to the
plotting
location
course.
of Callow Station, then it is currently in the current orbit of Absalom Station. I expect that it will be a 35-minute journey.
Oh, but there's something wrong with you.
that is most concerning to hear. I shall run an internal diagnostic. To what is the nature of this error, so that I might alleviate it properly?
Is there something holding back your memories, or?
The memories of an inorganic does not work much like yours does, Abigail. I have access to my current memory banks. Unlike
said something
most mortals, I do not believe in repressed memory as you do. The electronic and physical neurons that connect my systems are not prone to faulty behavior as in organics.
Oh, I think we gotta take home to a doctor.
It's entirely possible for an inorganic being to experience memory loss.
That is correct. In that case, that would be registered as an error, which is why I am running the internal diagnostic. If I find any memory leaks, I will let you know.
Mercy, it's possible that Holm has a algorithm that runs in the background that filters out information regarding child or mother.
It's bad though, because Home wants to find out about Mother. It's working against her cause.
Yes. We do not know enough about Holmes' back-end system to be able to know how to fix this.
You haven't been hacked, right, Home?
Again, as I have said, I am currently running my background diagnostics. However, I shall admit that if the hacking done was a very good one, then perhaps it would be undetectable to my current sensors.
What? Okay, well, let's think about what she said. We already know where it is. Is it like that asteroid we found you on? But that place was completely destroyed.
There are only so many planets we know that has lush green.
When did the Eox fiasco happened longer than 10 years ago, right?
That's way longer than 10 years.
Okay, so not Eox. Ashaval.
Shall I plot a
I know
course
there's,
to
Twitter.
Callow Station?
Yeah.
Very well. Initiating drive. The ship begins to take off out of Absalom Station. As you guys mull over this new discovered video from your comms terminal, Kamu. You continue your journey, eventually reaching Callow Station. As you do, you approach a singular kind of drift beacon out in the middle of space.
I'm still poring over this poem, but I'm confused. I know the 7 spectators are probably us, but who the heck is? Time is starting to get weird, man. Someone must have predicted everything, or saw everything. Okay, can we land on the station? Or do you want to go to the beacon first, or is there a station we can look for Timothy?
Timothy would probably be on Absalom Station, which you have already left.
Oh.
What do we see? Callow Station.
Give me a engineering check at Callow.
Engineering?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dirty 20 on engineering.
30-20 on engineering. This beacon is unmanned. It's kind of left. It's not like broken down or anything. It seems in fair condition. It is unmanned, so everything is just kind of willy-nilly. People can take it as they will. They accept the risks when they go through it, having to essentially do all the calibration themselves that would be done by an operator at manned drift stations. But it seems to be working fine. You think that not many people use it because it's just an extra hassle and an extra risk that people tend not to go through. Some drift beacons, even if they are unmanned, have some level of kind of like logging or some sort of logging system that keeps track of maybe things that have been through. Some of them do not. You think that this one seems clean enough that it at least has a small kind of panel where you can do some configuration that you don't have to do on your full ship, and maybe a log or two about who has gone through it.
Yes. All up to you, Kabu.
Vernon, Hawk. We're going to try to extract the data.
Okay,
On the speak.
we'll drive in close. I'm just going to use your engineering check from before, kind of downloading what you can from it. Not exactly the safest practice, being that this is kind of like an open use type terminal, but you look through it and it is not a very popular drift beacon. You see outbound, this only tracks outbound things, so it doesn't say where they are going to on the other end. But you continue to look through the different kinds of logs, maybe like one kind of service shuttle that came in like a couple of months ago. But eventually you find a something of interest. I would say maybe a month ago or say, there is an outbound shuttle that has a STARFINDER designation on it.
Whoa.
I would say you would place the exact date that this shuttle left about a week before Elms' death.
So we did make it.
And he didn't like write a news article about it or something? Isn't that big news?
He
Where's
made it, or
Rose then? Tell
someone,
somebody.
or some other Starfinder did. You think Gorthram got wind of it and, I don't know, was checking it out, and that's why Elms was looking after it?
Either way, it appears that the myth of using a unmanned drift beacon and not being able to come back is a myth.
Gorthram is a plant guy. He wouldn't go adventuring like this, right?
Well, if this was done a week before Elms' death, then it wasn't really Gorthram.
Oh. Is there a previous Starfinder one that would be like for the Skinnermander guy?
I would say no. On this particular beacon, you also don't think that maybe Skuggs would use given how much he mentioned his Falconeer shuttle in his stupid log, you think he probably wouldn't be caught dead driving a run-of-the-mill Starfinder vessel. But yeah, really this is like the only kind of thing that sticks out. Everything else is like unaffiliated ships, like personal craft, maybe like a couple of shipping companies, which you would think is on the reg. But this is like the only Starfinder a ship of this level in like the past year, probably.
Elms is the only Starfinder member, perhaps, aside from Gorthram. Who knows? Who knows of the station, really?
That's a good point.
Okay.
Elms is the one who wrote down Callow.
I'm struggling to figure out why it's relevant, though.
Why, what is relevant?
This whole drift drive stuff.
To be honest, I am too. Who gives a shit what the hell Elms was researching? He was a crazy guy, and he ended up getting himself killed.
No, Elms was chasing something. A piece of information that was important to figure out who was behind this.
Yeah, and they died before they could figure it out.
You're not saying that's just because they died. That seems to be a dead end. Not a way to give up.
I'm saying I'm not much too keen on trying to recreate whatever the hell Scuggs did on his ship to get wherever the hell he was in his time loop story. But we don't exactly have a lot of other things to go off of now, do we?
Elms mentioned Scuggs might have found a place that's hard to trace, undetectable, secretive.
If I was Scuggs, or if I was Elms, and I was smart enough to know that maybe my research was in danger, I mean, the place, their office was torn apart when we found them. And if I knew there was a safe and secure spot to maybe hide my research in, maybe I'd store it in a time loop zone that no one else could reach?
That is crazy. How paranoid do you have to be to what?
We like that theory. Alternatively, there are other ways to hide your traces, but inside a time loop is a unpractical but good idea.
I'd say, if anything,
Not
it's an Elms move.
Yes.
And, well, to be fair, you can't exactly call the guy crazy. Someone was after him.
But his notes didn't say how to get out. I don't want to be trapped in there forever or for 300 years. Thanks.
I think we should do it.
Hawk,
Look, I know,
don't know how
it
to
sounds
get
crazy, but drift drive is something that is, well, better explained than, astral drive, and I've done a lot of research on that. It's interplanar travel. It's not a complete mystery. There's a lot of unknowns about it, but I think I know enough about it to, wing it when we get through. Not saying that that's a guarantee or anything, but
Hawk, I think you're the craziest man I've ever encountered.
it's...
We believe in you. Let's get going.
Hawk kind of gives you this grateful smile. Vernon is still kind of standing in the corner. He kind of looks back at his terminal and looks back at you guys. Relax. Alright, look. We have a junk hauler, if anything, which is hell of a lot more sturdy than those, luxury, whatever, cherry red sports cars that Scuggs was driving through. And if Elms, or whoever, made this trip on a STARFINDER shuttle, well, they're pretty run-of-the-mill standard.
Yes.
I'm not saying that this is, a guarantee that we'll make it or anything, but I don't like the thought of us just sitting around doing nothing while Meridian and Cassock are who knows where.
That's true. They could be. I don't know. Do you think they got? Okay, fine. Go in. I guess we'll just, if they're dead, we'll die with them.
Mercy, that is the last thing we're trying to achieve.
That's the spirit, Mercy. Alright, if we're gonna go on this, whatever, half-cocked trip into drift space, or whatever the hell is, we gotta figure out exactly what we have to do to recreate what Skuggs did. So, what is that?
Wham energy.
No, Mercy. Web energy is a part of it, but alcohol consumption, different effects on skittermanders than, say, us.
I don't think we necessarily have to, get drunk or high off of wham energy to, drive this thing. And if we are going into unknown drift space, well, wouldn't exactly be recommended trying to, when you need very high dexterity and high acuity to navigate whatever kaleidoscope tunnel that Skuggs was talking about.
Okay, so turn autopilot off, so manually drive it. Close your eyes and go forward.
No, the cylinders, what Elms mentioned. They're extra engines. Or something of that sort, isn't it?
Oh yeah, go super fast.
I can reconfigure some of the ship's engines we got. I mean, this thing is, again, a hell of a lot bigger than a Falconeer, so... I can reconfigure this thing to speed as much as you'd like. Not exactly happy about it, since this isn't exactly the vessel type that's supposed to be running those speeds, but...
Skuggs also mentioned some anti-friction coating.
Anti-friction coatings are very expensive on Absalom Station, but well, we can try our best with ship shields.
We'll help you on that.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it. Never thought I'd be trying to soup up a junk hauler of all things, but here we are.
Well, we drove this thing through... actually, come looks over to Hawk. You drove this thing through a gas giant.
Well, I guess you're right there. It's certainly been through a lot of damage. I mean, I think going through interplanar travel and trying to get stuck in the in-between is certainly more work than driving through the atmosphere of a planet on your plane, but... well, I guess it's just another test. If the Silent Stars, lives through this, I think it might actually be indestructible.
Yes. If we're really trying to replicate Skuggs did, you would have to close your eyes while piloting. Hawk.
Yeah, sure. I could do that. Usually, that's not the best practice in piloting, but...
I mean, Skuggs is not a very good pilot.
That is a damn good point. If Skuggs, half high on energy drinks and closing his eyes, can pilot through this thing, I think you're in good luck, Hawk.
Oh, we should all get sunglasses. Do we have sunglasses? I do not want to get blinded.
We ejected a hell of a lot of junk back a whiles back, but I know there's a bunch of crates full of miscellaneous whatevers on this ship. Might be able to find some sun shields, or at least a couple of visors.
Great. Cabo, you do all the hard work of figuring out how to do this, so I'm gonna go get sunglasses.
Alright, we can reconfigure the engines as much as we can to get a racer build, and once we get in, though, we pass through the drive, what then?
Drift drives are supposed to be drift beacon travel are supposed to be instant. But this one seems more of a kaleidoscope tunnel. This beacon might be set for a certain location, instead of being open to everywhere type of deal. If the light at the other end of the tunnel leads to one same location, then we'll get to where Elms were.
We can reconfigure the settings. Typically on a drift beacon, you have to do a whole lot of setup. Obviously, you set the location that you're driving to, and you have to tune your different frequencies so that it matches with your ship in the beacon. Usually this is all done by drift technicians, but considering there's none here, and, well, Skuggs didn't sound like he talked a lot about configuring on the ship. I think he just kind of flew blind, without any configuration at all.
He also did a U-turn.
U-turn actually might be one of the more important parts of it. I think in drift drive, you're typically not supposed to steer anywhere. Go from a straight shot from point A to point B.
That's a good point. The U-turn might be key.
Okay, so fly blind and then do a U-turn?
Hard stop first, then U-turn.
Yes.
I think I could do that blind.
This is so dangerous.
Oh, yeah, this is terribly, terribly dangerous. I mean, obviously they talk about drift safety and everything when you go to piloting school. And these are all of the things you are not supposed to do in this order, including drinking and driving.
Then, like, if we all die, my biggest secret is that my middle name is Caster.
Your middle name is Caster?
Yeah, as in castor bean, the poisonous flower.
Oh, that's really cute, actually.
Partnership.
We've never heard of this fauna. Seems symbolic.
I'm gonna refrain my last, deepest, darkest secrets for when we actually find ourselves inevitably in another situation where we are all facing the perils of death immediately at our doorstep, which I'm sure will come soon after we do whatever this jackass stunt is in Drift.
Oh, but I want to hear secrets.
Guess you're just gonna have to live to see them then.
Okay, well, you're promising, right?
Nope, I gotta go reconfigure the engines. Vernon kind of claps his hand as he heads over to start reconfiguring things. Mercy, you kind of come back actually, and you have found a good amount of pair of sunglasses. They are all wildly different.
Oh, okay, well, I couldn't find any matching ones, so we can't pretend we're, like, in a gang, but at least our eyes will be protected.
I'm gonna be closing my eyes, so...
No, you still have to put them on, though. It's a part of the aesthetic.
Oh, okay. Could I have the ones with the little cat faces in them?
Yeah.
Yay! He puts them on.
I give Vernon librarian reading glasses, but they're like sunglasses.
You give him your little half circle, like, fucking glasses. Where the hell did you get these?
Don't question it. I give Kabu hippie circle sunglasses.
It's a big old Elton John.
Unless you want to describe your own.
Mercy. We're not sure. We'll just put this on our face.
I get the aviators. Hell yeah!
Hawk and Vernon and Mercy all kind of like look at you, Kamu, kind of like tilt their heads.
we'll go reconfigure the shields. Kind of disappears.
As you disappear, you hear Vernon speaking. So that's what they would look like with eyes, huh? You go to configuring the ship. Vernon goes to essentially boost the speed on the engines. Hawk is going over his short list of what he's going to do once he enters Drift, which starts with closing his eyes, doing a full stop in Drift, and doing a U-turn. As you see, he's kind of trying to commit it to memory. Mercy, you step next to him as you put on your kind of sunglasses, looking down this Drift beacon ahead of you.
I am nervously going through the chapter to see if we missed anything.
You scroll through the book, and you keep finding notes about, Scott seems to mention his divorces many, many times in the series of the book.
So, like, does it mention how much alimony gives you, though? Like, Mercy's really thinking about it.
It mentions that he is specifically trying to avoid paying alimony for, like, a lot of the book.
Okay, but I'm sure his wife never had a Solarian gun.
As you were kind of reading through it, you get, like, hit across the head with, like, a piece of paper as you see Vernon. Do not think about it. It is not worth it.
Vernon. Oh yeah, how did your process go? Are you like separated or divorced? Did you get money?
Secrets to talk about after I'm dead, Mercy. All right, Hawk, let's fire it up.
Bet you're sitting on a fortune.
I run a wheat farm. I would just like to remind you.
So she got the money.
He is oddly silent.
Oh,
Okay, firing up 4 to 6 cylinders. You hear kind of the engine rumble as you see the light on the beacon begins to flash. Okay, everyone, if you have any deities or gods that you believe in, now might be the time to pray.
Mercy hugs her ducks.
3, 2, 1. There was a flash as the typical signs of going through a drift beacon surround you. You've traveled through these before in better circumstances. The lights around you kind of zoom forward, traveling faster than even light can catch up with. As they kind of streak across your vision, you see the beacon kind of flashes, and you are... But rather than immediately passing through that and ending up in some other place in space, you see the beacon configurations flashing above you that it isn't set to go anywhere. And you are suddenly in a place that you have never been before. You feel your body almost vibrate out of sync with yourself, and it is a bright flash. Mercy, as you're going through this kaleidoscope tunnel that Skuggs had mentioned, you're suddenly very, very grateful that you took the time to find sunglasses. It is hard to see anything ahead of you, and you see Hawk is shutting his eyes tight.
I'm going blind even with the sunglasses.
I would be shutting my eyes about now. Don't know exactly what the hell's going on. Can anyone see anything? Hawk, how you feeling? There's certainly a lot of give on the yoke right now. You guys see anything? Are we running into anything? Should I stop?
We can't stop until
No,
you feel
no.
like sandpaper.
What does feeling like sandpaper feel like?
Does anybody
Keep
see
going
visions?
forward for the time being.
Can I get perception checks from both of you?
Uh,
25.
Was that a 25?
Yeah.
Okay.
24.
25 and 24. Mercy and Kami, you kind of try to strain your senses to try and look out as much as you can. You see you're almost like going through this tunnel of light and colors and shapes. Things that like kind of, these objects that kind of shift and blur past you. You think maybe you see like the hull of a shipping container before it almost kind of like glimpses in and out of this tunnel. You see kind of just ahead of you, just as it's coming through, the large, almost it's like a vessel that has been cut in half, and you see like the internals of like people working through it in this weird like 4-dimensional kind of space, heading kind of straight for you.
This might be the U-turn part.
Did U-turn do U-turn now?
I don't know.
Is this the sandpaper part?
Sure, U-turn.
Doing a U-turn! Hawk goes to make a U-turn. Let me do a roll for him. You feel your ship. There was a huge shearing sound, almost as if, not like a vessel has clipped yours, but you feel almost like it goes through you partially. You turn over and you see like a jagged screech on the inside of your ship, but not on the outside, as your ship takes some significant damage, as you seem to be veering side, almost going through a separate tunnel that branches off.
I don't think we did the right thing, Hawk.
I think we got hit by something. The ship's kind of spiraling out of control. Are we still attempting the U-turn?
We're going down an Sure, U-turn.
Kamu, as the co-pilot on this ship?
Well, if Scott was able to get to wherever he got to in impaired condition, then this is as good a time as any to do the U-turn.
Gonna try reverse full thrusters. It might get a little turbulent here. He pulls back as hard as he can on the steering as you feel the ship lurch forward. Can I get a reflex save from everyone, please?
Yeah.
Too bad for our ship. We're gonna crash land anyway, so it's fine. I got 16.
23.
With a 16, that will be enough to save, actually. As you guys lurch forward, Mercy, you veer just enough to make sure your head doesn't slam into the front console ahead of you. Kamu, you kind of using some of your gravity to rebalance in shifting kind of backwards so you don't immediately eat shit on the ground. Mercy, you're going to take half of the damage, having saved with your operative feat. Kamu, you will take none. But Mercy, you will take 6 points damage total.
I might not have operative.
Because you wanted those cool sun powers. Guys, I'm gonna do a U-turn again. Hold on. Hawk, you guys feel yourself kind of stopped. You see in front of you a giant, almost kind of like a creature, actually. Some sort of like,
what?
As if viewing in Iroquois, like this giant, almost like dragon squid creature passes through you in this tunnel. You, like a mere kind of like 20 feet away from it, as your ship pulls back around and you start jetting in the opposite direction.
I wasn't an ex-wife, but you know, it was scary, so let's go.
The ship begins rocking around. You see Vernon as like things inside your ship has shifted. All like the table has screeched across half of the floor. You guys are kind of like still trying to get your bearing. And can I get another reflex save from everyone?
Oh god.
Hold on.
I wanna go home.
I got another 23.
Another 23.
That 22.
22, that will definitely be enough to save. Mercy, you're going to take 4 points of damage, which is halved, as you begin to slide back, as everyone except for Hawk, who is kind of strapped in, begins sliding towards the edge. Almost it feels as if your ship has moved and the gravity isn't working, and you are like in the back of the ship as if it were straight up.
Oh my gosh, I feel so weak with my half stamina.
Everyone, hold on! I think there's that light at the end of the tunnel. I'll see you either in heaven or in hell. And
gosh,
suddenly,
look at it.
the ship, almost as if you feel yourself visibly braking for something as you fall to the ground, as if gravity is righted again. And suddenly, you all kind of shakily kind of get up from your positions, and you see Hawk is in the pilot's seat, a little kind of slumped over.
Are you dead?
Hawk?
You kind of rush over to him, and he kind of makes like a mumbling noise. Yeah, you think the stress of the G-force having been enacted by this was a little much, but you know, he seems to be coming to. And when you look up out of your window, you find that you are no longer in this by this drift beacon, nor are you anywhere that you would consider space, actually. You look outside, and where you would see dark kind of blues and pinpricks of stars, it's almost as if there's like this pink and green kind of miasma that makes up the space. As you float through, and the ship kind of dinks into a some sort of rock, some sort of asteroid, is what you would think it is, except that it's this kind of like pale white color.
What? Where are we?
I did it,
Later?
guys! Woohoo!
No. I think we're gonna
Good
vomit.
You know what? Everyone give me a fortitude save.
No!
Oh, good roll.
Oh, bad roll! 9?
26?
Mercy, you throw up.
No!
Mercy. Well, did you eat teriyaki right before we? Probably not a good.
Oh, look at my vomit!
Hell, wherever the hell we are, it ain't Absalom Station anymore, Toto.
Mercy files that information away to buy Vernon red shoes in the future. But yes, can we land on this little white thing? Wake up!
Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, I'm up, I'm awake, I'm, woo! Talk about, you know, sail straight through a straight shot iron needle in the middle of it speaking.
Go get some ice water for
Did you guys see that dragon that showed up in the middle? That was crazy, right?
It was a kraken, not a dragon.
Was it? It looked, from the angle that I was sitting, it kind of looked like it was talking to me about paying alimony. I don't think it's good to be in a drift beacon for so long.
Yeah, we definitely need to take a break before we go back.
I am, landing. Is there, anything we can see? Can I get a perception check from everyone, actually?
It's gonna be the best white rock of our lives.
if this asteroid is real, not some sort of illusion. We should be able to land on something.
15.
Perception?
Mhm.
30-20.
Okay, looking kind of out, you see the scanners on this ship are all over the place. Nothing like, it keeps like getting a bunch of false positives and like clocking things and then immediately disappearing. This asteroid you bump into, you see out your window as it begins to go through your hull a little bit. You see this rock through the floor of your ship as it kind of keeps going and then vanishes.
What? So I guess this is the space in between or something? This place doesn't...
Interplanar travel. Very dangerous trick, perhaps.
The drift plane ain't exactly something that's, well examined or well studied in academia. Mostly because, again, it's not a place that's easy to get to, as we've all seen. I'd take caution while we're here. Do you see that?
No talk.
Is that a station up ahead? Vernon kind of points up. Nothing again registers kind of on your scanners, but visually through your window ahead of you, you see what looks like a station. It's hard to tell. The materials of this place seem like halfway between some sort of mechanical and metal and technology and some sort of like organic kind of like plant or tendril or a gaseous form that seems to up around it. What you see ahead of you is some sort of station, almost kind of like a spinning top, but almost as if it is inverted, made up of like negative space that should be connecting, the different pylons and different stations.
Look like Absalom? Absalom kind of looks like a spinning top.
I won't have you roll for it, Mercy. You kind of tilt your head and you think, this does kind of look like Absalom Station. Like if you had taken a cast of Absalom Station, that is like the outside parts of it, and turned that into a structure.
Fascinating.
I
So
say
the
we
drift-
land on it.
I mean, there's nothing else really in sight, and I don't much like wandering out where these asteroids, clip through our ship and whatnot.
Oh, before you do that though, do we have a watch anywhere? I want to keep track of time.
I would say you have a personal watch on your comms terminal if you want to keep track, if you want to set a timer.
Yeah. Okay, I'll set it for like, how long you think is safe to stay here? Well, Skunk was here for a long time, so I don't think we have a time limit. I just want to make sure I'm not going crazy.
Most of our ships build in electronic devices are malfunctioning. But a mechanical watch should do.
I'll just use a normal watch then just to keep track of time, not timer and anything.
Okay. You make note of the time that you have arrived in drift space. And your ship begins heading out towards this inverted Absalom station. As you kind of do, Hawk kind of maneuvers to where, the docking station would be on Absalom station. As he kind of like...
Oh! You gotta go to the opposite way.
The opposite?
Yeah, because this place is like made up of the negative space, right? So the docking station would be different.
Huh. Okay, I can try going around. He kind of pivots, and it gives you guys a nice look at this kind of structure. Eventually you get to this kind of empty space, and that kind of resembles the docking bay. You see, actually, there is signage in here. This kind of plaque that's up where normally would be like the docking bay sign that says that you've arrived at docking bay C, and where to dock your ship. And it's almost like the text is embossed on it in backwards. But as you kind of sit down, you see Hawk kind of like is peering through. Is that a Starfinder vessel? And he points out, and there is indeed, very out of place in this drift space, a Starfinder vessel. Small one, much smaller than your ship.
Investigate it. Get on it.
Okay, he docks the ship as you settle down, as he goes over to, just about to kind of open the cargo bay. Is it safe to be outside here?
Oh, yes. Does it look like there's an atmosphere?
Everywhere kind of looks the same. There's no like real kind of, you didn't feel a telltale kind of atmospheric barrier kind of entering into this space.
Can you like check outside? Can you detect if there's air outside?
Home detection air systems. Air is air. Made of molecules. Tasty.
No, is there air outside of the ship right now?
Air made of air molecules. Take up space.
Okay. Alright, you stick your head out then, Hawk.
I would have to open the door just so you know. This isn't like we're all in this together if I open up this door.
I mean, we don't really have any spacesuits, do we?
Oh, we have two.
Oh, okay. Who wants them?
We can make another one if needed.
Okay, then you're coming with us, Hawk, because we make you babysit too much.
Okay, I can put on a suit.
Ready to go to your room.
What?
Did you just
Well, if
tell
we
her
open it
to
and it's a
go
vacuum.
Tasty
Yes.
air, letting in the air. Air, all good for the doors. You suddenly, like, the lights kind of start to flicker, and you see as the door begins to open.
Oh, whoa! Oh, are you okay?
Alouette, 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 je te plumerai. Je te plumerai, je te plumerai, the door kind of slides open as you see Hawk is kind of bracing for like the vacuum as it closes, and there is no vacuum.
Okay. Home is definitely like crazy or going through puberty, you know, whatever, invest with her system.
I don't think being in this place is actually conducive for tech systems. Have you taken a look at your comms terminal? Can't connect anything, and the internals aren't doing too well either.
Oh. How are you, Kamu? Are you okay?
Well, we're functional so far, and we're not singing.
But don't start singing shit that Puma read.
If you do, we might have to rethink our strategy.
Nah, everything's fine. I'm going outside.
You head outside. As you do, you see the shuttle that is parked right next to you. The Starfinder shuttle. The door is open.
I march in while thinking that this is a great place to trap Osiris in.
You think about the implications of being in this drift area, and the fact that Osiris has probably never experienced this, and you get a leg up on him. Can I get a perception check from you, Mercy?
$26.
As you get here, you see inside of the ship is pretty run-of-the-mill. You've seen these kind of, you could rent these Starfinder kind of small shuttles that is available to you as a ranger. You kind of look over to the front and you see a half-empty can of Wham energy in the console. You kind of run your hands and it's sticky. as it's been
Ew.
spilled kind of all over the front. In kind of the back, you see like large kind of panels taken out to see that someone has indeed kind of messed with the engines of the ship. And other than that, something else catches your eye. It's floating through this space, which you feel the gravity fine here. You're on the ground, and yet floating in this space are a couple of things. One is a Starfinder badge, and the other is a piece of kind of paper, it seems like.
Is my camera still functioning?
Your camera on your terminal?
Yeah.
You kind of pull it open, and it seems to like kind of glitch and fizz a little bit, but you kind of like point it out, and it seems to be mimicking what you're seeing in this space.
Okay, good. I take a picture so that I could show it to Scugs and, you know, like trigger trauma and stuff, and then I take a look at the picture. The paper.
It's actually a good thing that you did that, Mercy. As you take a picture of this, you see that it's a letter, is what it is. It's you just catch that it's Starfinder stationery, actually, which is a little rare to come by, considering not many people do paper mail anymore. But you reach for the letter, and as you kind of like hold it, you drag it down, and almost like a Windows error, it drags through space copies of itself.
Oh. Please tell me we're not in another simulation. I'm really sick of those.
Do you still hold on to it?
No, I just want to read off of it.
You let it go and the text has smudged. And as you do, you see the older versions start to fade until eventually it disappears entirely.
No! What did it say?
Well, luckily for you, Mercy, you took a picture of it before you had interacted with it. You kind of pull out your terminal and look through the image, and you realize why you had so much trouble looking at it before. Looking at this is written in a language that is foreign to you. It appears to be some sort of handwritten letter, and it has very kind of like chunky and blocky handwriting, and all of it is kind of written in this foreign language. But at the bottom of it, you can make out the signature, and it is signed, as you read in common script, Gorthram.
Gorthram? Is there some sort of orc language that exists? Wait, what? I thought this was Scugs' ship. Okay.
Mercy? What have you found?
I found a paper written in a language I don't know, signed by Gorthram, in Scugs' ship. So it could be that the fake Gorthram came here, but why would they leave like a letter? Maybe it's a letter that told... I don't know.
I will say, to set the scene, this letter is kind of floating amidst a bunch of other kind of stuff that's like bits and pieces. Everywhere in kind of this space, there is miscellaneous thing, like you see like half of a fork kind of floating around, bits of trash, of rations. You see that there is like a kind of suitcase in this room where a bunch of like pens and papers and different kind of notes are kind of like floating around in this space. This is simply the most interesting one that you've found.
Does the suitcase have any sort of symbol or...
It is a kind of very nice...
Name tag?
Give me another perception check.
Also, like, Kabu, when I touched the paper, it had like an error thing and it disappeared, so I'm really thinking that this space, like the asteroids are clipping through, we could be in a simulation. Perception is 33.
You recognize this suitcase, actually, or one very similar to it, this briefcase, if you will. Elms had a lot of these in their office, this was usually used to like hold notes for cases and things like that.
Oh. Okay, do all 4 members have it, or like does it seem like it's specific to just Elm?
This seems pretty Elm specific.
Okay. So then, this was signed by Gorthram, but it was in Elms' suitcase. So I guess this is... I'm going to think it to you, Kamu. Is there anything else in this room? I'm taking the half-drunk RAM energy, by the way. I still believe in its property.
Is this, looking at the space and why the objects are floating, and from Mercy's description, is this some sort of physical? Like, as in, using physics, you can kind of get a theory out of it. Is this warped space, or...
About, like, the space you're in and the nature of it?
Yeah.
Give me a physical science check.
Interesting. Okay.
Man, this gun's is really alone here for so long.
I'm getting a lot of dirty 20s today.
With a dirty 20, you know that Drift, the plane, is outside of your normal plane of physics. How extraplanar physics works exactly, you are not entirely sure. Skug said he was trapped here, and so you think that maybe there is some sort of... If you think about time as the 4th dimension, and you made that a physical dimension instead, there would be a lot of kind of things that would be incomprehensible to people like us who live in 3-dimensional physical space. And so these kind of like moving in and out of things, you think would probably line up with something like that.
So the Dreamer Lady would love this place then, right? Is this more like astral, or is that separate?
The astral plane is more where the gods and deities reside, and it's typically different from Drift Drive.
Oh.
And no one has invented an astral drive yet. It's actually a really pressing question in the scientific community.
Can we arrive at godhood? It's up to you, Hawk, while you're doing your adventures.
Well, I wouldn't think that it would, I mean, it is kind of a personal project of mine. I have a lot of literature, actually, on it, by the way, if you'd like to read it. We can pour over the notes together. I have a couple of schematics if you wanted to look through it.
Well, not right now, already. Yeah, later. I want to go see Elms' office.
You are on a facsimile, we will say, of Absalom Station. And indeed, like you had told Hawk, kind of thinking almost as if a reflection of Absalom Station, and you have found what looks to be the docking bay. So using that logic, you think you could probably find locations in Absalom Station that are similar.
And I know we're on a mission. Mercy's really holding herself back from like just going into people's houses and finding their secrets and stuff. There's nobody here. No, I'll try to go to Elms' office. Is there anything else in this shuttle?
Should we all
Any, like,
stick
diaries?
together? We could cover more ground if we split up, but...
I don't think there's any enemies in here. It should be safe to split up.
In that case, where should we head to? You're gonna head to Elms' office? What else, where else might there be clues?
Gorthram's office? Hmm.
We have a feeling that Elms is the one who brought the letter in here. But we can investigate for himself.
Should
Yeah,
Hawk and I
sure.
investigate somewhere else, or do you want a partner to come along with you guys?
You should probably come with us just because I don't know of any other points of interest, but I would love it if you like found some of Osiris' secrets. You know, that'd be really cool. Does he have
I'm not
does he
gonna
have, like, a
go.
room?
First of all, very brazen of you to assume that you can just find people's secrets here just because this is some inverted version of Absalom Station.
I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Secrets.
You know what, actually? I think I might go check out the, what was it you said you were sleeping around in? The, delinquency
What?
quarters?
Oh, okay, let's all stick together, except for, Vernon, you go with Kabu?
No, you know what? You guys go explore, why don't you explore the Starfinder's quarters? I think I have to, you know, have some other business to attend to. He starts walking off in a direction.
No!
We'll find Vernon.
Okay. I'll come with me.
Okay. You guys head off then, splitting up. Hawk and Mercy, you start heading towards where the Starfinder's quarters should be, and Kamu and Vernon start heading off in an opposite direction, maybe looking around what you can find. Mercy, you start heading towards... Actually, you know what? We're going to start with Kamu this time. Kamu, you eventually catch up with Vernon, who kind of nods to you. Combine is kind of scouting the way. You see, Combine has found himself on, like, the side of the walls, kind of like spider climbing almost around. Vernon is just kind of looking with a little bit of scientific interest on, you know, the physics of this space, as you guys start heading down this tunnel.
Combine seems to be doing just fine.
Well, not to put the old boy down, but I think Combine's artificial intelligence isn't quite on the level that Holmes is. And speaking of, you doing alright in that head of yours?
Yes. Nothing strange at the moment.
You kind of check your terminal, Kamu, as a cursory glance, just to see what things are functioning, and obviously comms aren't working in this space. You know, any connection to any sort of network isn't working. But your background process to search for information on this drive, you see has come up with something else. You see another video, very similar source to the previous one. It appears to be some sort of personal log from Gorthram has sprung up as different from the rest of kind of the clips within the drive.
Hey, Sproutling! Oh, nose to the grindstone again. You know, I'm starting to think you might prefer the company of that laptop of yours to real people. Rangers just got back from a mission, deep sector diaspora. Not too far from here, really. Well, apparently the summer fair was in town, and... look at this little fella. Oh, come on, don't tell me you've never seen a squawks before. These little buggers love running around on birdseeds come autumn. Getting through the birdseed, they do. Well, the real ones are a lot more annoying, but... there. I knew you'd like it. Nothing like a ball of fluff to keep you company.
Gorthram, could you come down a minute?
Oh, looks like duty calls. I guess I can...
Oh,
You don't think Gorthram is child's father figure?
Can't say for sure, but give me a sense motive check.
Sure. 22 for sense motive.
Vernon seems to be a little, he's kind of like, you kind of replay the video to look through it and stuff. He only watches it the first time. He kind of like, he does a little kind of awkward cough as he kind of steps back. Look, sure, you know, given stuffed animals and whatnot, well, she doesn't exactly look like a kid in the video too much anymore, but that's... if Gorthram is some sort of father figure to whoever this kid is, Yeah, if that's how you want to read it.
You seem unsure. Sorry, give me 1 second to lower the volume. Alright, here we go.
Same.
You seem to have whole doubts about not conclusion. Well, not that conclusion, that thought. We were born as a adult, you may say. Not much knowledge of how parenthood works.
Look, I think you're right, Kanbu, okay?
Come toss their head a little. Okay.
Just don't give me that look. Look, if with that other video and now this is taken, what, 5 or so years later? Looks like Gortham's been in this kid's life for a good bit.
Interesting. You think this?
Hey, and there was that other voice too, right? I mean, this is the first time we heard like a third party.
Yes, Gross in the first video mentioned the presence of Mother. They must be working together closely. To impersonate Gorthram perfectly. They
Maybe
must have
someone who knew his mannerisms for so long? Like maybe 10 or so years?
That's what we're thinking.
Look, who knows what the hell happened in between the 5 years that this video was taken in now, but... Well, it's just that from what I've seen in these things, they seem to be getting along fine.
Skulks. Strange creatures they are.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I've seen a couple of those, plushes lying around. Kids seem to love them for some reason. They're annoying as all hell.
Come reminiscence about what happened in biomedical industries. Yes.
You doing all right there, Chief?
Well, sorry, I got distracted.
Well, anyway, if we get any more clues, I mean, this isn't exactly a smoking gun saying, hey, here's my exact involvement in the swarm and where exactly I kidnapped the rest of our crewmates, but it's piecing, parts of the puzzle together slowly.
Yes.
Can I get a
Gorthram
perception
must
check
play
from
a
you,
large-
Kabu?
Oh. Gorthram must have played a larger part in all this than any of us thought he did. Oh shit. Okay. That was a nat 20 for perception.
Okay. Vernon's just about to continue. Yeah, I mean, wish we could have known what the actual guy was like, and you stop. You see just around the corner, shadowy movement.
Kobe beat me almost kind of subconsciously, equips their gun and get ready.
What? What is it?
Vernon, there's someone here.
He kind of like looks behind and he calls Combine over as he starts pulling out his gun. Who the hell else could be here?
We don't know. We don't know if any organic being can survive in this space.
Should we go after them? What? Are they coming after us?
There's only one way to find out. And Cal's going to start moving towards the direction of the shadow.
You start moving towards the direction of the shadows. As you kind of get over, you start creeping up. And the second that you turn the corner, can I get a reflex save from you, Kamu?
Oh, right. Reflex?
Yep.
We are good at reflex. 30-20 for reflex.
With a dirty 20 on reflex. Kamu, just as you turn the corner, you immediately prep yourself as you see a grenade go off, exploding kind of in your face. Would you get a 20? You're going to save, and you will take no damage as you jump back as this grenade kind of explodes near you.
Vernon, dodge.
You see Vernon kind of hit, he stands back as you're saying, Kamu! He starts rushing over, and he starts turning the corner, and he fires blindly down the hallway. You hear shots kind of go off, as you hear the patter of footsteps down the hall.
How many? Just one?
Give me a, you know what, I will use your perception check. It sounds kind of like 4, maybe 5.
What?
Vernon, this sounds strange. But there's multiple. At least 4 or 5.
Shit, on this station?
Yes.
We might be able to go after him and catch him, but Mercy and Hawk are somewhere else in the station, and we can't communicate with them long range.
That's true. We need to go after him. And Calvin will run behind them while making an attack on one of them.
Okay, make an attack roll, please.
Okay. Well, I think a 27 will land a hit.
A 27 is definitely going to land a hit. Roll damage.
You should have said no just to mess with her.
Uh, 15 points of damage.
You fire a shot, and you hear kind of a sound of someone falling, and kind of like a muffled noise. There is kind of a halt as you hear that you've slowed down. You think at least one of them.
And the rest are still going.
It is hard to tell. I would say in this moment you can make the choice if you would like to keep running forward. It sounds kind of like you have slowed down the pack, almost like staggered. Like this is just happening in mere seconds going on.
Come in the dark. I think Come will probably make the choice to go check on the staggered rather than trying to take down all of them.
Rather to check on the staggered person.
Yes, check on the staggered person.
You start heading forward to try and catch up. You hear kind of pattering footsteps that are running close to you, and there is a mist that is suddenly kind of in the area. Can I get a perception check from you?
Yes. Perception? That is a... Do math. 32 for perception.
32 for perception. You start heading forwards, kind of moving through this cloud, trying to find it. You hear, I would say you get the sense of this, which shot someone, and someone had run back towards whoever you had shot, whoever got slowed down. And then you hear footsteps again of one pair running away. You kind of like parse through the cloud as the cloud begins to dissipate, and you stand looking around. You do not see anything.
Vernon, are you here?
Vernon kind of catches up to you. What the hell was that cloud? And did you get him?
We got one of them, but seems like one of them turns back. Help the other away.
Well, this is where you shot the other one, right?
Yes. Or... that was probably inside the club. Go check, actually, kind of take a few steps back and check if there's blood on it.
Give me a survival check.
Interesting. 15 for survival.
15. Kamu, you go over to the ground, and you see Vernon comes over to you, and there is a small kind of stain from when you had initially shot them. You don't think they have left a trail, but you can see where you hit as you stand right there. There's a couple of red blood splatters on the ground.
Looks like that shot landed, but we don't know where they went.
Damn. Do you want to keep chasing after them, or?
Whoever they are, they must have known something by making their way here.
Look, I don't much know anything about what type of creatures would be living in the drift here, but it did seem like they had some sort of, not just mindless animals that live in the drift. They had some sort of, sentience if they pulled this off to try and get away.
Yes. Perhaps we should get to Mercy. Talk first.
Alright, let's try and backtrack. They said they were heading to, where the Starfinders were, right? At least we know where they're going.
Yes.
Let's hurry. Vernon kind of holsters his gun as he starts taking off down where he assumes the Starfinder headquarters is.
What happened if Vernon was alone?
Come looks towards the direction that they ran, roughly the direction perhaps that they ran to. Turn back and follows Vernon.
You turn back as you begin to follow Vernon, leaving behind whatever this group was running away from. Meanwhile, Mercy, you and Hawk are strolling through this inverted Absalom station, heading towards where you believe the rest of your group to be.
You're be more info.
You are heading toward, you're trying to find Elms, my apologies. Or anyone, wherever he was and whatever he did on this station. And you eventually make your way to a familiar place of Absalom Station. You can recognize the pillars and the architecture of the Starfinder Forum, of like the headquarters, and you see kind of where they would have a giant compass, their sigil, but it's the wrong way. It's impressed into the wall, like an engraving. As you and Hawk continue to walk through, as you have been traveling along, there are bits of, I would say, the things that kind of, the refuse that floats around in the air when you walk through this seems to get more concentrated as you start heading towards Starfinder HQ. Bits of paper, little kind of like the inside, you see the inside of a pen, the ink kind of flying out before it goes back inside the pen and kind of continues floating. There are more kind of... Go on.
I just start batting things out of my way. Just move!
Sometimes you bat them out of the way, and sometimes you move your hand, and before your hand even hits the object, it already rushes across the room. Sometimes things float through kind of walls, and sometimes you hit something and it goes through your hand in the opposite direction.
I don't like this place, Hog. Was this nowhere in the book?
Okay, first of all, it was a very, very difficult read. Again, Skunks doesn't tell a story in any linear fashion or in any comprehensive fashion, and he talks about his ex-wife a lot.
Listen, he's been through a lot of isolation, and he probably just misses his wife.
I mean, he was divorced. He divorced her in the beginning of the book.
Oh, I thought it was like the other way around, you know?
No, he was very explicit about the fact. I think this is like his 4th divorce, actually.
Oh.
To put it into perspective, Chapter 3, he doesn't even get to, like, the drift plane until Chapter 3. Chapters 1 and 2 are entirely about his divorce.
Got some things to work through. Therapy.
I know. And he talks a lot about, like, apparently he has a vacation home in Castrovel.
I can totally take that home off of his hands.
I'm just saying, I don't have a lot of sympathy for the guy, is all. Wait, Mercy! He kind of stops you in your track. You are in the hallway as he points up. And, floating up in kind of the, in the air of this hallway, you see a familiar page. You see the same stationery written in an unknown language, floating in the space. Except this one, you see being written actively on it in a red ink, are like notes that begin to scribble in the margin before kind of reversing, leaving it clean on its page.
No! Can I read the red parts?
Give me a perception check.
Or Hawk, do you know how to speak Orc or read Orc?
I don't know Orcish.
You said perception?
Yes.
25.
You see it begins to scroll across, and you see a couple of snippets of notes. This is what you see. You would say, not common, unknown in language database, and then a couple of things have like circled some of the words and like scribbled out, like, you think maybe translations of particular words. Some of those you see is book. One of them you see is like woman, and kind of like library. You see a couple of these, just a couple of words that you think are an attempt at a translation.
I'm so confused. Gorthram, did Averio mention anything about Gorthram having like a child and stuff, or like being like a book nerd.
I know as much about Gorthram as you do, which, considering we never actually met the guy, I mean, none of us have really done a deep dive into his past. I think orcs live quite a bit, so, but, I mean...
How long exactly?
I don't know, a couple hundred years if I were to guess?
Oh, that's not enough.
He was the xenobiologist, is all we really know.
Yeah. Okay. And what have you seen a library on this Absalom station?
There is a library on Absalom Station.
Is only one? Like, is this the main library?
It would, if you wanted to check out Elms' office first, it'd be a bit of a detour. And also,
yeah,
this space isn't exactly Absalom Station. I mean, a lot of the library is digital. I'm not sure what we would find.
Answers, my sweet child, answers.
Is that not what we are here in the headquarters for?
We're going to Elms' office!
You charge ahead, going to Elms' office. You essentially make your way kind of through the maze of different kind of hallways as you eventually head towards Elms' office. As you do, again, you see more and more of this same letter that kind of pops up in different spaces. The one that you had already taken a picture of. But as you kind of get closer to Elms' office, you actually find a second one. Can I get a perception check from Mercy, please?
And then I want to take an immediate picture afterwards. I don't trust it anymore. 32.
You think at first that this is the same letter written by Gorthram. But what catches your eye is that the script is very different, actually. The other one was written on kind of like Absalom Station, on Starfinder stationery. This is just on blank paper, but the script is much more kind of elegant, much more neat, other than Gorthram's kind of blocky handwriting. You quickly take a picture as it continues to float through before flying through a wall. But looking at your picture, you see that it is, unfortunately, still written in this text that you can't understand, this text that you can't read. You think it is the same language, however. But what really catches your eye is that all of this is written in this foreign language, but the last couple of lines you can actually read, because they are written in common. And it says this.
Your Kalathgar. It's still signed by Gorthram, or just?
That is the signature.
Okay. What do I know what that word means? Hawk, do you know what that means?
Give me a I know what the ability is called. It's
Culture?
Not, no. Life science.
Oh, that's just as bad. Whoa. Ha! Can you look at this, please?
With the 12, you think that this is a plant.
What? Of course it would be with Gorthram. So that's gotta be Gorthram. Or no. Maybe this is Mother, because Gorthram calls people things. Sproutling. Does this word look romantic?
I don't know if I would be the judge of that. I have no idea what a Kalathgar is.
Okay, I'm wrong. Keep it noted. What's with all this flower symbolism, Hawk? I don't know flowers. Where's freaking
I
My
don't
husband
know.
that's dead.
It's okay. Well, Gorthram is like actually like a biologist and stuff, and he probably worked with a lot of fauna when it worked with the Rangers.
A lot of people are evil, Rohan. They're all evil.
I don't think that everyone who likes. I think your mom's pretty cool. She
She's
was like a terrible villain that poisoned a lot of people that she had mentioned, but I think she's still pretty cool despite that.
cool, but evil. Which is also cool. I'm talking about a bad kind of evil, you know? I'm talking about world ending. But Gorthram is so not. Well, we don't know who Gorthram. Never mind. I don't know anymore, Hawk. I don't know anything. Is there anything
Well,
else?
look, once we get to our ship and we leave wherever this is and we get back on Absalom Station Network, we could probably cross-reference the language database and see if we get a hit for anything like this.
It's one of the things. Didn't we see something that said like unknown language from Elms' notes?
When you saw
Out
the
of the
notes
database.
being actively written on the letter, that is what you saw.
Stop trying to give me false hope.
Oh, right. I kind of forgot about that. But look, Averial is, a xenolinguist. She knows about different types of languages.
He's doing a good job of translating that one Solarian thing. After
Yeah,
months.
it's not great, but we could give it a shot.
Okay. We just gotta hope. You take a picture of my pictures, man. We gotta have as many backups as possible. I don't trust this space.
Okay. He kind of angles his camera above yours, like just taking like a picture in a picture. It's super shitty quality. And it's just then
Fair
that you
enough.
hear the pounding of footsteps running down the hall.
What is that?
Mercy, we're like the only people that are here, right?
Yeah, except for you think that's Cabo inverted?
Yeah. They run like that sounds like their footsteps, right?
Not really.
There is pounding footsteps as you see Hawk kind of like take a step back as he pulls out he kind of pulls out his Teslamancer, kind of eyeing the hallway. Should we run or?
We gotta get to his room. Is the noise coming from the direction where his room is, or not?
No, it's coming from like down the hallway.
Okay, let's run then. Let's run to his room.
Okay, give me an athletics check, he says.
You got it, Howard. And I'm so buff. 22.
You two start dashing down the hallway. You hear kind of a screeching noise of steps that kind of come down the hallway. You make it to Elms' office and you burst through the doors.
Close it.
Whatever happens inside, you'll have to come back to. As Kamu, you race across the hallway, knowing that Elms' office is just down this hall. As Vernon kind of takes it screeches beside you.
Do you see him?
No, but that's Elms' office, isn't it? Right there. You see the door shut.
Oh, sorry.
I hope we're not late. Come does a preliminary check of the hallway. If anyone else is, if there's any other movement other than inside Elms' office.
You do not see anything else in the hallway.
Gun still in hand, sniper rifle still in hand. Come will knock on the door to Elms' office. Mercy, Hawk.
Mercy, on the other side of the door, you and Hawk are kind of like pressed against it, trying to barricade it, putting up a bunch of stuff on the door. before they can get in, you gotta, no mercy, just wrap it around the handles. We can move this crate over in front of the doors.
Wrapping it, but like, do we wrap it backwards or frontwards?
Yeah, well, we're in kind of the inverse of Absalom Station, so maybe you do it in the reverse order that you would normally.
But then that means we don't barricade it at all, right? Like, no barricade equals barricade.
Well, we already barricaded it. Does that mean we're more vulnerable?
Do we hear Kamu?
You hear a knock on the door.
Mercy? Hawk? It's us.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
We barricaded the door. Does that mean it's easier for you to get in?
No?
Well, I guess we gave it a shot. Hawk begins to unwrap, like, kind of the rope around the handles as you guys start pushing furniture away. The door creaks open as you see Vernon and Kamu on the other end.
Don't scare us like that.
We came here as fast as we could. Did you see anyone else in the halls?
No.
There's other people here.
Yes.
What? It doesn't say it in the book.
About 4 to 5 of them. They did bleed. Which means they're...
Kamu got the shot on one of them.
Oh, how high? How tall were they?
It was too dark in the hallways. There were but shadows.
Whatever it is, they got away. But, again, Kamu got a hit on them, so one of them might be crippled.
They're just babies. Of the abyss.
Well, if that's the case, Kamu shot one of them anyway.
Okay, then we gotta get through this stuff before they come back and then leave. So,
Yes.
one of the places we gotta go is the library.
The library? For what?
It was noted in Elms' notes he tried to translate the Orcish and he got book and library.
From that letter that you took a picture of?
Yes.
Alright,
And also,
well,
like, oh, you're a farmer! That doesn't really help much, but do you know what a calabunga is?
a cowabunga?
Kalathgar.
A Calithgar?
Yeah.
It's, frankly, I thought you might know more. I think it's some sort of, wait, now that you mention it, didn't you mention Lumakinth before, too?
Yeah. Which is crazy that there's a flower that can shoot a laser. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah, well, it's because it's mostly old world kind of stuff, kind of Galarian. Back in the day, well, you guys haven't been on Castorvale too much, or at least the wilds of it, but there's a lot of kind of vicious fauna that exists out in it. I think Calithgar probably falls under that category.
Like oleander?
Not like a poison, more like a carnivorous plant that
Yes.
gets up and chases after you and eats you.
Before we arrive on... Before we head to... that fun for the second time, we did some research. I think Calithgar might have came up once or twice. It's some living plant. Intelligent.
It was signed with love, your Calithgar. Why would they choose a carnivorous plant as an endearment?
Don't ask me. It's not something I would have chosen.
Does that confirm that Gorthram is evil man and he likes evil plants?
Sorry, he used Calithgar as an endearment?
Yeah, I don't think it was Gorthram who used it. I think it was like somebody else. Mother, his lover, I don't know.
Can Calvin cross-reference Chronopedia to see if Calithgar is also known as Hail Liddy.
Give me a, yeah, sure. Give me, what is the thing? I keep saying it and I keep forgetting it. The biological,
I
life
know.
sciences.
Life sciences. Culture or life science?
Life science.
Okay, good enough.
Their
Maybe
shield?
15 for life science.
With a 15, I would say it does have an additional name. You don't think that's relevant.
Interesting.
What type of is it normal for orcs to be blue?
Sure.
What? What do you mean sure?
How many other orcs do you know?
Because like if Kalithgar's, I looked it up. If Kalithgar's like the cold, Gorthram's blue. Blue means cold. I don't know.
The ropes are forming. All the lines. The red yarn, stringing everything together.
Is there anything?
I will say, on your check though, Kamu, looking back, kind of cross-referencing Kalithgar, not with any of your internal knowledge, but on the letters that you have, on the second letter signed off with love, your Kalithgar, you look back to the beginning, to the address on the first letter signed by Gorthram, and you see in like the address, the 2-line, you can make out that like that word is actually common. That's just Kalithgar written out. So it is addressed to, something Kalithgar, and that this other letter is a response.
It looks like this is a correspondence between two of them. Gorthram and whoever their Kalithgar is.
I love you. You're like a carnivorous flower that grows in the colds.
Yes, Mercy. Very funny. Is there anything else in Elms' office that could be of use?
We did not look yet.
So you guys would just walked in here and barricaded the door immediately?
Yeah, we heard your footsteps. It was scary.
Well, I guess
You'll
we can
learn.
go looking for anything. You guys sure you didn't find anything? Hawk? Vernon kind of turns over to Hawk, and you see Hawk kind of standing by one of the desks. He's kind of holding his chin as he pokes at something on the desk.
Don't touch things, they disappear.
He kind of looks back to you. As you see, he's pushed there's a kind of mug on the desk, and see it's full of ice water.
Does the mug say anything?
No, it just looks like kind of like a standard cup. Maybe one that you would have with kind of field rations or something.
I pour it out.
Water?
You pour it out as the water and ice kind of clatter on the floor.
I don't know why I did that, Hug. Hug, why did you think this was strange?
There's ice.
Yes.
Yeah, but all the stuff in here is weird.
So provided this thing was not, if this thing was not frozen here very recently.
I mean, everything is frozen in time around here.
I guess you're right. Sorry, I'm thinking with, normal people logic. I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility that ice has maybe stayed in its permanent state. I'm trying to make sense out of things that don't make sense.
No, if you noted it, then it's important.
If time is a fourth dimension and we're inside it, all of our movements, our previous self and path and future self will be continuous. If you roll a ball, a sphere, across the ground, you will see some sort of a 3D cylinder.
Kamu's right. We have to, even if we are in a space that we don't fully understand and it's, topsy-turvy and everything, things have to make sense eventually at some fundamental scientific level. So if we think simply about time as another dimension that we are moving through, well, there'll be unexplained results, but it all comes from, for the core fundamental physics.
We don't think we were thinking about when we were running towards you two, but the paper that disappeared, it's not because you've touched it, but because perhaps that was some slices of that paper reminiscent, being frozen in some state. The paper itself was not there, but the shadow of it are still present.
So that means if there's echoes of things, does that mean that there's echoes of us?
An astute observation.
Those things that you shot. What?
You all stop as suddenly you turn over to the other presence in the room. You see holding a glass of ice water, cocking their head at you with a very familiar grin on their face. Hawk drops all the papers that he's holding as you all stare at a familiar halfling sitting in the room. Everly Elms tilts their glasses down at you. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting visitors. And whatever happens next is something we'll have to find out next time.
Talking to this time. Just need a little brain salad surgery. Got too cute, my insecurity. I've been in the wrong place.